You've been lied to. All of us have. Every time you scroll Instagram and see someone on a fancy beach chair with a laptop and a smoothie, captioned with, "The secret is work-life balance." Every time a book with a stock photo of a happy person tells you, balance your career and personal life to achieve bliss. It sounds amazing. It sounds possible. It sounds like maybe, just maybe, you can have it all in perfect proportion. 8 hours here, 8 hours there, 8 hours asleep. Done. But let me break this to you. Balance, in the sense you've been taught, does not exist. It's a myth. And here's why. Imagine your life as one of those old-school scales, the kind with 2 bowls on each side. On one side, you place work, deadlines, emails, endless meetings. That conference call that could have been an email, but instead devoured your entire afternoon. On the other side, you put everything else: family, friends, health, Netflix binges, hobbies, collecting dust, sleep you haven't gotten in a week. Now, does that scale ever actually balance? No. The work side always seems heavier, tipping harder and harder. And you know the worst part? We blame ourselves. We think, oh no, I'm failing at life because I haven't balanced everything correctly. But let me ask you something. Who said it was supposed to be balanced in the first place? Who set that rule? The truth is, this whole idea of a neat, symmetrical balance was invented in the late 20th century. When corporate jobs started consuming people's lives, HR consultants swooped in and said, "Don't panic. Just separate your time better. Just balance." It sounded rational. A slogan was born, and it stuck. But it was designed to solve the root problem. It was designed to keep workers just functional enough not to collapse. Fast forward to today, and you can feel it. The promise of balance has failed. You try to meditate, do yoga at 6 a.m., spend equal time working and relaxing, but every week, something crashes. If your job's heavy, family gets neglected. If you lean too much into personal life, career slips. Then comes the guilt. You blame yourself for being unbalanced. Let me release you from that guilt. The failure isn't yours. The failure is in the myth itself, because life does not operate in perfect halves. Priorities move, energy flows unevenly. Some days, one thing needs more of you. Other days, something else. Balance assumes you can split yourself like a pie chart that always adds to 100%. But you are not a pie chart. You're a human. Now let me paint a scenario, and you tell me if you've lived it. You wake up, already stressed. At work, you attend 12 meetings, grind through Excel sheets, promise a boss you'll deliver on time, and before you know it, the clock says 9 p.m. You drag yourself home, exhausted. Your partner asks for quality time, but your brain is fried eggs. You promise tomorrow, and then scroll, sleep, repeat. Where's that balance anyone promised you? It's nowhere. This is the trap of balance. It assumes we can live 2 separate lives equally. Work over here, life over there. But in truth, these things are already mixed. Your energy at work determines your mood at home. Your joy at home determines your creativity at work. They are not separate counters. They are one system. That's why I say don't chase balance. Chase integration. Integration looks like this. The different roles of your life flowing into each other, so you stop fighting and actually start living. Let's take practical examples. A programmer sits all day coding for their company. At night, instead of raw Netflix escapism, they tinker with their own app idea. Work-life integration. Work teaches new skills. Personal project adds joy. Both overlap. A teacher who loves traveling decides to make short vlogs on the places she goes. Suddenly traveling fuels her teaching stories. Teaching fuels her creative side. No more work versus life. Commuting an hour every day. Balanced thinking says wasted time. Integration thinking says audiobooks, phone calls to loved ones, learning new skills on the go. That's not balance, it's smart overlap. When you integrate instead of divide, pressure goes away. The guilt disappears because you not trying to keep 2 halves equal, you reweaving them together. And science is on our side. Psychologists call it role-switching stress, the constant anxiety that comes from trying to perform equally in 2 different spheres. Like being in a meeting and worrying about your kid's homework, or being at your kid's soccer game but mentally running through tomorrow's sales pitch, you end up nowhere fully. Chasing balance just multiplies the guilt. But when studies looked at workers who integrated, who found ways to align their roles, Instead of splitting them, they had higher fulfillment, less stress, healthier energy. Their life wasn't an exhausting game of tug-of-war. It was more like weaving threads into one strong rope. Now, maybe you're thinking, fine, but how do I actually do this? Glad you asked. First, forget time balance. Focus on priority focus. Each week, identify 2 or 3 high-value areas. Maybe finishing a project, working out 3 times, spending intentional time with family. Energy flows there. Forget trying to give equal weight to every single area. Daily, it's impossible. But when you make progress on chosen priorities, your satisfaction skyrockets. Second, micro-boundaries. No one can completely control schedules, but little boundaries make massive difference. Example, no devices during dinner, morning coffee, without email, phone-free, last 20 minutes of the day. These small rituals trick your brain into creating division without trying to build a giant wall. Third, job value alignment. If every day your job grinds directly against your core values, of course, life feels split. Look for at least 60% overlap. Like, if you value creativity, find projects that allow it. If you value helping people, tie your work output into that. You won't need to balance values if work and life share them already. Fourth, do an energy audit, not time audit, energy audit. Stop asking how many hours, and start asking, how much fuel did this give me? An hour spent jogging might energize an entire day. 2 hours spent in a pointless meeting might wipe out 6. Direct your life around activities that energize you, not ones that drain. Fifth, identity fusion. The sweet spot is when your personal and professional selves overlap. If nurturing people matters to you, being a mentor at work will feel like an extension of your personal self. If discovering matters to you, research jobs will echo hobbies. Find that common vein so you feel like one person, not to halves. Now let me tell you a personal story to humanize this. A friend of mine was stuck in the classic burnout cycle. Corporate job, endless deadlines, weekend recoveries. People kept saying, you need work-life balance. Leave early. Spend more time at home. So he tried. He forced himself to log out on time. He tried dedicating evenings to family. But guess what? His projects suffered. Stress doubled. Guilt mounted. The more he forced balance, the less balanced he felt. Then he flipped the script. He proposed a wellness program at his company that also let employees' families participate. Now his job obligations included something he deeply valued: family and health. Suddenly there was overlap instead of conflict. Guess what happened? Stress plummeted. His guilt dissolved. He didn't need to balance anymore. He was in flow. This is the future. Boundaries between work and life are dissolving already. Remote work, side hustles, AI, they're blending professional and personal in ways we've never seen before. And here's the prediction. People who stay obsessed with old-school balance will keep fighting uphill battles, guilty and exhausted. People who adopt integration will flourish. So let's kill the myth once and for all. Balance doesn't exist. Stop punishing yourself for not achieving something that was never real. Real success doesn't come from cutting life into 50 to 50 slices. It comes from making life one whole fluid, flexible, connected. Think of yourself not like a scale, but like a chef. Great food doesn't come from splitting rice and chicken equally. It comes from blending ingredients skillfully. Work, family, rest, creativity, they're your ingredients. Mix them consciously, not mathematically. That's when flavor arrives. That's when life tastes right. So stop the guilt of imbalance. Stop chasing the unicorn of work-life balance. Start weaving work and life together like threads in one rope, like beats in one playlist. Integration over division. Harmony over halves. And when you live like that, the very thing you were chasing, peace and energy, will finally chase you back. And that, my friends, is why everyone is completely, utterly, delightfully wrong about work-life balance.